This is Classic FM.
The gaming industry is so fragmented around so many different countries, and bringing it all together here in London, one of the biggest capital cities in the world, it focuses the attention on what is the new art form, which is game music.
We have an entire day dedicated to music for games. And I know that sounds very simple, but the bottom line is there aren't that many in the world that do that.
Our aim is to pull the curtains back so people can see the reality of what it is to try and work in this business as a composer.
I'm here because I've just come out of a master's at the Royal College of Music, and I really want to sort of focus into video games, and the panel here is quite incredible. It's a really prolific panel. I really wanted to come and see the shape of the industry and how it's sort of moving forward.
Game music is not that old. We're talking 2 decades. And we've now got the technology and the freedom that games composers have to create exciting music means that there's a thirst for it from an audience perspective.
I think the appreciation for video game music is definitely growing. I think the medium itself is getting more respect and attention. People aren't necessarily looking at it as games for children. It's getting serious recognition. And game music itself is, in a way, following the coattails of the popularity and increased respect of the games.
The whole point of this event, I think, when we originally got together to talk about it, something that's very important for both of us, I think, is that it's about the meaning of music in games, and the meaning embedded in the music, the aesthetic side of things. It's not a sort of it's not a geeky kind of computer-based event, is it? It's very much about music, the content of games.
I've thoroughly enjoyed listening to all of them because it's just amazing hearing their different positions on everything, their different perspectives. Daryl as well, to hear about how agents work and the side of things that a lot of composers probably don't think about. It was really good to hear.
These kind of events are so good to sort of explain how we do things, how the business works, how as a composer they can break into the industry, about a lot of technical advances that they may not know about and be aware of, and we're here to sort of help build community spirit and actually help educate them and to share common goals and practices and things like that to actually evolve and push the industry forward.
I think the greatest thing that an aspiring composer can learn from days like this is reality. How hard it is, the tricks of how to get there, the shortcuts from experienced people who have been there over 20 years, who have made their mistakes.
And gives them a really strong idea of the sort of values required, building relationships, working really hard, being passionate about what it is that you do. So I hope that some of the aspiring composers really take that on board as much as any technical knowledge and practical how-tos.
I came to Games Music Connect last year and I found it really inspiring, especially talking about the interactivity of music, which we don't get so much in film. So I came back for some more of that inspiration and maybe a guiding hand to some of it as well.
I think we're both kind of pretty honoured to be the catalyst to bring these kind of amazing people together to really share, from their experiences in a very open, down-to-earth way.
What I'm always surprised by when I attend events like this, and especially Game Music Connect because it's so concentrated, is how similar my story and my opinions and my emotions are to everybody else on stage. Getting the chance to come out and spend time with all these other wonderful composers who I'm fortunate enough to call friends is great, but just feeling like, oh wow, I'm not alone in feeling that way is really nice to have that support.
The great thing about events like this is that you can learn so much. Somebody came up to me just then and said, I've learned more today than I did in a year's course at a university. I think that says it all.
This is Classic FM.